Alright, so let's introduce ourselves since this is the beginning. We have to introduce ourselves both forward and in reverse. So let's just do it forward real quick. So hey, I'm Stu.
And this is Andy.
This is Tim.
Okay, now we do it backwards.
No, this is...
You know?
What's up? Okay, so this video, I'm gonna read. I don't really know what it is, but let me read the title. Sasu Saku movie dash look at me and say you remember part 22.
Part 22?
Yeah, I like to start in the thick of things.
So many.
Oh god, there are so many. Like, I'm looking in, like, the related videos, and there's just... Alright, you guys ready for some Naruto fanfiction?
Yeah.
Alright.
Sure.
So for anybody listening, I'm Stu. I'm a master of voices. And I will be reading this Naruto fanfiction. It's pretty much just pictures of Naruto characters and then words from Windows Movie Maker put over them. So, alright, there's a theme song at the beginning, and probably get flagged for copyright later. Oh, fuck. I clicked on part 4! I'm ready for part 22. You got the double pictures. Is this from the anime, or are they, like, overlapping things?
No, this is definitely off the anime.
So these are all anime moments edited. Oh, shaky camera, gotta have that. Nothing really good.
Seems like that's needless effort in anime to use shaky cam.
Just okay. Don't worry, Sasuke-kun. I won't forget. I'm with you. Oh, okay. And you'll always be smiles back. Oh, that was a guy talking. But you do remember that you raped me, right? Said the girl. Oh, really? I don't remember that I raped you, air quotes. What? Okay, that was a while. I was sure that you wanted it just like I wanted it. Oh, too fast. How did you know I wanted it? At that time, I didn't even know you. Well, you weren't... Wait, you can call it... Sorry, it's blue on, like, dark. No, I can call it perverted, air quotes, exclamation mark. This too! Ouch! Said the girl. I don't know the girl's name.
Sakura,
what's wrong?
I think, yeah.
Are you okay, Sakura? See, I would have learned it. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that baby kicking!
Wait,
Sasuke,
what?
oh, don't hurt... Sakura too... Okay, there was like 8 lines of dialogue and they were just whizzed by. Hey, Sakura-kun, can you... How can you be so sure? Maybe it's a boy. Well, you can call it sense woman. Wow, then I can't complain. This is amazing. Sasuke, Sakura, I promise you that it won't be all... Wait. Then the girl yawned, so there was like another 8 lines of dialogue. Am I supposed to pause during this? Are you tired? Said the guy. Yeah! There's different pictures every time. There's like a whole fanfiction art thing to this. Okay then, go to sleep. Go to sleep!
So I can rape you again.
Alright, goes to bed and falls asleep. I'm kind of worried where this is going. Touches Sakura's hair. Yeah. She's so beautiful, so strong, so something. I love you so much, Sakura, and I know that I made it right when I something. Well, I better go to sleep now too. I need to take care of Sakura. Then there's something else. 8 months passed. Just had an 8-month time gap. Sakura, please sit down. You can't do it. But Sasuke-kun, I really want to. All my friends are there. Oh, it's like blue on black. Sakura, first it's a club and I won't allow... But... there was a lot more lines to the guy's line. But, no air quotes! It's a no air quotes exclamation mark. Grr, period. Sakura, don't be mad. I'm worried about you. You're 9 months pregnant. I know, but still... Dash. Sakura, listen to me. I won't allow you to go out, and if you try, I will stop you. But Sasuke-kun, I want to hang out with my friends. Inside Sasuke's mind. Who is Sasuke? Pregnant women can be stubborn sometimes. Remember, Sasuke. Outside Sasuke's mind. This is the greatest thing. Sakura! No! Sighs. Alright. I won. Dash. Feel pain in stomach. Oh, there's no line. Sakura, what's wrong? What happened to the baby? The baby is going to... it hurts. Sakura, oh no, I've got to do something. Then there's some more lines. At the hospital. This is actually, I think, done in iMovie instead of Windows Movie Maker. Damn it, where is she? Turns something. Sees Tsunade walking. What happened to her, and why is she crying? I think she's ready to give birth now, so please hurry. Alright, come with me. Tsunami is like a girl or something. I couldn't say that. Inside the room. Just the room.
Inside her vagina.
Puts Sakura on bed. Tsunade. No, you need to leave the room, and I don't... That was a different girl. Okay, I hope it's going to be alright. Leaves the room. Okay, Sakura, stay still. We shall begin now. That was a girl that I just did there. Outside the room! There's a lot of scene changes. Question mark says, comes Sasuke I think there's a line there, I don't know. I hope it won't hurt Sakura too much. Oh, this is a different person. Sasuke, I know it's going to hurt her, but there's more lines. I guess you're right. So hard to read. To be continued.
Oh no.
Thanks for watching. Yay, comma, Sakura is going to give birth, comma, finally. And don't worry, comma, Sasuke, comma, it's going to be alright. Until then, ... Bye, guys, semicolon, parenthesis.
You know, that's a really accurate retelling of Naruto.
That's pretty much Naruto in a
It
nutshell.
jumped from,
Yeah.
like,
She's really was way too okay with that guy raping her.
right?
Yeah, that's
And he didn't
that's
really,
not okay.
He didn't deny
Maybe-
it that hard
maybe-
either.
No,
No, I didn't.
it was a really like
Oh,
casual,
wait.
like the same way that you'd say like you had sex with me. Like they say rape.
I don't know, it's like in imperial type Japan. Like rape is normal, right?
Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's acceptable.
although there are cars and power lines, so I'm not sure how that makes sense, but they're ninjas. So,
Right, in Naruto.
yeah.
You know, if it's not entirely obvious from the fact that I could not pronounce any of their names, I don't know that much about Naruto.
Yeah, and
I
you
know.
shouldn't.
I know very little.
Yeah, you know, well, I think I'm going to get into it now that I've read this fan fiction.
Yeah.
Not as much raping in the show.
Not as much raping, but very much shadow cloning sexy jutsu.
Right. Well, I do know that part.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing you need to know.
Yep.
About Naruto.
Pretty much. It's only real good part.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. How long does this go?
I've never read a fanfiction before, and that was
Never,
what I
ever.
expected. I don't think so.
Our mutual friend Bramble Pero, he tried to talk me, or not talk me into, but tell me about this good fan fiction. There's a Harry Potter fan fiction. He's like, so I've been reading this Harry Potter fan fiction. We're done. We don't need to talk ever again.
Was it?
It sounded mildly interesting. To be fair, it was about like Harry Potter, but like he was raised and he like loved science. So then when he goes to Hogwarts, it's like, you know, the fuck is this shit?
That's interesting.
It's an interesting idea. I heard it gets very boring.
There is a series of, I think it's 3 books now, like full books that were done by a fanfiction author that follow like where the end of Harry Potter leaves off at the train station and
Right.
follows those kids through 3 years at Hogwarts / another American school. The whole Wizarding City is built in like skyways above Manhattan. It's a ridiculous, like, cool thing for that one book. But that's a really good series. It's the James Potter series.
That was a fan fiction.
It's a fan fiction, and each of them is like 350 pages plus.
So it's like the books.
It's actually well written, and I think J.K. Rowling actually made comment on it, saying like acknowledgement, like this fits the style. It's not canon.
I mean, does that happen often? Fanfiction reaching the point where they make it canon, or
I don't remember specific examples.
The only circumstance I can really think of is like with Star Wars. George Lucas was like, write whatever you want. I have the rights to like overrule it. Yeah, and I don't know if that's still a thing because now Episode 7's coming out and like all of that. Everything after, because there's all this stuff about like Luke becoming, running a Jedi Academy and all this stuff, and all of that's not canon. So Episode 7, I mean, it could be any. Okay, so just going back to speaking of fanfiction, I'm on this person's channel, and there's a bunch of stuff. It's so much that the iPad can't even read it. So we got playlists. There's this Sasu movie. We're gonna call it those S movies, because I'm not saying that every time. 3 men, but the chosen one is you. So that's a playlist with 1 video. There's another playlist with 1 video, same thing, S movie, model, and I don't care. But yeah, there's Out of Control, there's a ton of these. Which one did we just do?
something episode 22.
There's not even a playlist. But there's like other ones, like the one that has the most is I Have to Tell You What I Feel, Susaku movie. That has 45 videos. So yeah, we should open every podcast reading Naruto fanfiction. That could be our theme song.
Or just fanfiction in general.
That's okay.
But if we find like an episode or whatever, air quotes, of a good fanfiction of anything, and it's just hilariously bad or just hilarious.
Yeah, or just pretty much on this caliber.
Yeah.
I'll have a link to this video so you can listen along. That's fantastic.
Fanfiction can get a little. It's always sexy, like usually.
Well, not always.
That's the one
I think that
people talk about is so and so has sex. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's not all about that. It's
right.
I think that's kind of what it gets a lot of attention for it, because
the
there
word
is
of
like
mouth.
Andy was saying, like there's the James
Right.
stuff, and there's the there's like some Harry Potter. But that said, there are a lot of like slash stuff. I think it's like
Right.
a common I don't know term for like I'm gonna combine these two things and they're probably gonna have sex. But I could be wrong about.
Yeah.
I don't know if slash necessarily means sex
Or the X.
The
so
X.
like Harry X Ron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Harry and Ron.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or Ron X Draco. Betrayal.
Ooh.
That's.
Let's go on the Google machine and get some of that.
Those
going.
definitely exist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Huge amounts. Sure.
Have you guys heard the fanfiction My Immortal? This goes on long enough. We're gonna read My Immortal. We're just gonna have a whole series called My Immortal. It's basically a combination Harry Potter, vampires. I think Twilight. Yeah, Twilight's involved, and Harry Potter, Twilight. Oh, and like My Chemical Romance.
Wait.
Like those three all combined. So like everybody's like super emo.
Are the band members in it, or is it just like
I don't know. I only read the first like 10.
style? That
Yeah, I
pull
can't
from the
say I've
song?
never read fan fiction. I've read a decent amount of My Immortal. There's a lot to it, but
That's.
there's.
I've never heard of that.
It's like it's so bad that it's like people wonder if it's even real, like, or if somebody was just like messing
Trolling?
around. Yeah, like if
I think there's a point where that's too much effort for a troll, right?
yeah, because there's a ton. Let's see, we're going to fanfiction.net.
I have a feeling like the ones about sex is the only ones people talk about because it's usually looked down upon, right? In fanfiction, for the most part. It's never really praised, although those good ones should be praised.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean,
I think the
that,
common...
It's not praised anywhere other than forums.
right.
Right.
I mean,
But
people.
So there's some that are really well received.
Okay, so I'm on myimmortalrehost2.webs.com. And, so there's one page that's chapters 1 through 22, and there's another one that's 23 through 44. So it goes, I mean, that's, like, super short chapters, I think. I mean, they're short, but...
I was say.
I mean, overall, it's a lot of writing.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
quite-
I've never heard of like a band being thrown in there with a
Oh yeah,
universe.
no, like My Chemical Romance is a pretty common one.
But do they take the band members or like just some of the lyrics and use that as like a theme? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, there's Harry Potter with
No, I
you
get it.
know.
But is that really just My Chemical Romance, or is that like that?
No, they're just straight up like My Chemical Romance. Sometimes I think they talk about like Disturbed.
Okay, so they
Yeah, I mean, you're already going all out like with Harry Potter stuff. You might as well just say whatever's on your mind.
what band you're taking influence from? Look like.
Not even like influence, just like blatant. Just like, this is it! Like, the name My Immortal, I think, is a... Ooh, is it a Evanescence, or is it a My Chemical Romance?
God.
Evanescence. Yep.
Oh.
So, My Immortal, man. That's some good shit. Hey!
I found a funny article.
If you had sex with dead animals, would you just be a necrophiliac bestiality-iac, or would you be is there a term for that?
Can you say it properly?
What is it? Bestiality, necrophiliac? Is
there-
that the
Necrophilic bestiality is what I use.
necrophilic
Right.
bestiality?
That's what I use it.
Because these are important things to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You gotta know your
apparently-
terms.
apparently, according to Wikipedia, there isn't like a word for it,
For
specific
having
word.
sex with dead animals.
Yeah, for human having sex with dead animals, but there is one for having sex with dead animals in general, which is
So other animals having sex with other
Yeah.
animals that are dead?
dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They call it Davian behavior after the name Dave because it is named after a lewd limerick. And the limerick being, there was an old miner named Dave who kept a dead whore in his cave. You have to admit he hadn't much wit, but look at the money he saved.
Oh,
Davian behavior.
Oh, wow. That can't be true.
That is
it?
It's on Wikipedia, so it must be.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Damn, you're right.
Well, so we can use that word though, right? 'Cause then we
Davian,
are animals
Davian
and-
behavior, yeah.
Yeah, Davian behavior. So now, if you need to talk about it, it's just Davian behavior.
Or you could just say pull the Dave.
Oh, you pulled a Dave.
Yep.
Good-
Pull
You
the
kept
Dave.
a whore in a cave.
Inside jokes here, and the person will not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can say somebody has Davian behavior.
Fortunately, we don't know any Daves that directly. Well, we do. but
I know a couple,
Not like within our
but they
groups.
live far
Yeah.
away, so it's okay. Pulling a Dave on this one.
Related.
Related, okay.
This is from 2006, so it's not exactly current. In the UK, a man was accused of having sex with the carcass of a deer that he found lying beside the road. But his lawyer denies that he committed bestiality on the grounds that the dead deer isn't an animal anymore.
How did they rule that?
This was just the announcement of it. It doesn't have the actual.
I mean, that makes
wanna
it-
know
that-
the ruling.
I mean, as gross as it is, like it's kind of right. Like,
But does that mean we're not human once we're dead? Like,
well, no, but
that's the
because
same
humans,
thought?
no, but you wouldn't say that we're animals when we're alive.
No. But we
So
are-
that's the thing. Like, you wouldn't say like you cut a steak. That is animal abuse. That's just you eating a steak. You know, like when a cow is dead, you know, it doesn't matter what you do to it because it's already dead. You know what I'm saying? That's like animal abuse stops at death, pretty much.
Well,
So I
the
mean,
judges,
that's the way I see it. As gross as it is, like public service announcement: don't have sex with dead animals. Don't pull a Dave.
So the judge sought dismissal on that claim. So
Oh.
yeah, so I don't think he got away with it.
Well, I mean, was it in like the middle of a park, like with kids or something? Because I can see that causing some issues.
So the judge's justification was that the primary focus of the law didn't have to do with it being an animal, but that it was the human behavior on protecting sexual morality in the community,
Oh,
and not necessarily
Okay.
on animal protection.
where did this happen?
This was the UK. So it
The
was,
UK.
Yep.
See, that would never happen in America.
Right.
Unless
Never in
it's
America.
unless it's Washington State where it's legal.
You can have sex with animals in Washington State?
Yep. Bestiality is legal.
And you know that because
because the
Tried it?
Mr. Hands, look it up, kids.
Mr. Hand
Died in Washington, being mounted by a horse.
Oh,
That man.
Yeah.
was Mr. Hands.
many of that happening.
That was Washington, so it was legal.
Like, I've heard many of porn stars dying from horses. It's like
It's really a problem in the porn star community. Just
I've seen articles. It's like, just don't take it from a horse. Like, clearly that thing is too huge.
But
like,
but
look at that.
the horse mafia, they just come and rape.
yeah, and then you get pregnant, and then you have to marry Sasusake or whatever his name was, and Sasusake. I just read that like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. I don't remember any of the characters. Sakura, that was the girl. And there was Sasuke, and there was Tsunade, and there was a girl in a purple shirt, and she had blonde hair.
I know who she is. I don't remember her name though.
You don't need to. It's not. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Reading your fan fiction.
Email it in.
Email? No, you know what? You don't have to. You don't have to email it in. I'll find it. When we get desperate, you can email it in, or you can email it, but I'm not telling you the email. There we go. Email it to your friends, and then have it like circulate back to us. Like, I don't want it directly from us.
It has to be chain mailed, right?
Yeah.
At least 6 or 8.
Well, you gotta think.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly this is gonna be really popular. So, I mean, people are gonna write bad fan fiction and just send it to us. Like, we need to be circled through, like filtered through other people.
Right. Genuine, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it gets past
not
us.
trolled.
Yeah, not like the real, authentic, like just the cream of fan fiction.
Speaking of cream, I wonder if anyone listening can guess which of us does not have a penis.
That's a tough game. I'm just gonna, I said this in the Dark Souls videos, which may or may not be up when this is going up, but I'm a gamer girl.
Oh.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you might, I sometimes get mistaken for a gamer guy, but I'm a gamer girl.
The voice throws it off.
It does. The beard too sometimes, but
Yeah.
I follow a lot of women issues in video games. I am a girl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, sexual identity is all about what you identify with.
Well,
and the vagina doesn't hurt, but
right.
Yeah, well, it's the vagina,
her like a dick and giant titties.
Yeah, it's just yeah, just huge, just in my face. Can't even get past them. Can't even see. Are there 3 people in here? Is it 2? Can't even see past it. My ability to see is that of the person listening to this podcast, which is probably one of us, or maybe somebody else. Yeah, just bored. Like, they posted a podcast on YouTube. I'll watch it.
Oh, we should go on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. iTunes? What is iTunes?
What's the process on that? You have to pay?
iTunes or YouTube?
Yeah, iTunes.
YouTube. Well, YouTube, you got to pay a lot. I talked to a guy. I tried to start an account, and he was like, "Okay, flip me like $20, and I'll start your account." So I got a YouTube account now.
$20? That's not bad.
$20. Yeah, no, that's not a bad. That's a really good price for a YouTube
I
account.
paid $50 back in the day.
Yeah, no, back in the. I remember when YouTube. Remember when YouTube started up and it was like $100 an account?
Oh, right.
That was man,
I
worth it though.
remember it was still owned by Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that was a pain in the ass.
But what were we talking
And those
about?
damn Yahoo Answers comments, like, invading every
I just don't like how
every
they,
video's comments. Like, that was such a bad integration.
yeah, when you
Yeah.
Google something and then those are some of your top searches, the Yahoo answers, like, I don't...
But we're talking about something serious now. No, that was a very big problem. It's like, my source of information is Yahoo Answers, which, if you're looking up a medical thing, means you have cancer. And if you're
Right.
looking up anything else, it means you're going to get the wrong.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
like, I Google search because I'm trying to find the right information. The top searches are Yahoo for the most of the time, even now. Like,
Yeah.
I hate it invading my...
Well, it just means skip down 3 until you find the proper
Means
one.
You need to uninstall and reinstall your browser.
It just means you
Because
need
you
to...
accidentally installed the toolbar at one point, and it is not showing up as an actual toolbar.
Toolbar. Toolbar! I got this Yoo-hoo toolbar! Yoo-hoo!
Like, they even show up on the phone. Like, it'll be
Really?
one of the search, like, one of the topper...
The topper, upper...
Is it one of the
in
ones that's in a slightly...
Topper.
One of the
It's
ones
top
that's in
and
a...
We were going somewhere before this. I'm just gonna derail this Yahoo Answers. Where were we going?
We were talking about
Yahoo
YouTube.
account, YouTube's
No.
account.
I don't
I don't even know. All right, Yahoo Answers.
Oh,
Yeah.
how much it costs for iTunes?
Oh, I think it's free. You just have to have it hosted on a website that's not iTunes.
And
Yeah.
they can still download it via iTunes.
Something like that.
Mm.
I think we should go indie. We should start our own iTunes and just you want like it'd be a good way to find our stuff. We make it a lot cheaper than iTunes. Like it only costs like $30 to download.
Yeah.
Just a lot cheaper. I think we're gonna undercut the iTunes market.
You just host it on your own site, and then they say, "Okay, you're good," and you can then host it on our.
Yes, but there's a bunch of technical terms like I don't know, like RSS feed and like.
Do they just make that shit up?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't tried to do this since like 2007, so it could be different. It could just be like there's an upload button that I've never noticed. I think it has to be hosted on a different website though.
And they just pull from that website?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Like, how do they?
I
Why would they not want to just direct?
mean, this is something that we could just Google, but
We all
But
get
fuck
Yahoo
it.
answers.
But why, when we have a YouTube account, the best place for podcasts? I can post up funny pictures. Like, if we post this on YouTube, there could be like a cat.
The whole
Meow.
time? Oh yeah, we can have a video of a cat
Just
right now.
Aww.
So cute.
See, that's why you gotta watch it on YouTube. Because if you're listening to this on iTunes, you're just not getting the full experience.
Right, it's not like they have video podcasts on YouTube.
No, they don't.
That's-
Because that would
that's
be...
way in the future.
Who could do
Yeah.
that?
That technology is.
I'm still trying to figure out how YouTube works, man. Like, I don't know. My internet just makes it a series of pictures. Somebody told me that sometimes they move together. And I've seen it. Like, sometimes the pictures move together. But, I'm just...
Those GIFs?
GIFs. Graphically integrated fun.
What's up with the Vines, anyways? They're just like 6 GIFs.
GIFs?
We are doing the wrong thing. We are putting this podcast on YouTube. We need to put it up on Vine in like
6-second increments.
Yeah, is it 6 or 7 for
We
our
already have like many episodes.
We got
I
so
can't
many
even get
podcasts.
out.
We release it once a week, just
Dude.
7 seconds.
That
In 3
lasted
years. it'll be
years.
Years. This is probably the only podcast we'll ever have to do for this entire thing.
Amazing.
Oh, we're geniuses. See, I like this plan, but it's really expensive to start a Vine account.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put in some serious money. Because I just bought a YouTube account, and that's pretty much my money.
I mean, they're all tied into the Vineyard networks,
Mm.
and there's tons of money in wine. So
Yeah, and it's just a way for them to get more money out of me, just crushing me like they crush the grapes.
Right.
Vine just crushing me, getting my money, squeezing me for all the money I got.
seedless my ass.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up what the price is for a Vine account. Yeah, it's like $1,000. I don't. Well, we'll get there. Maybe we'll release this. Okay, this podcast right here.
Right.
We sell it for $1,000. Like we only need one person to download it. Just one person download it.
Really, right.
Yeah, and then we have the Vine, and then maybe we do a second one and we post that all up on Vine, and that's where our real revenue is.
Yeah.
That's where the money's at. It's on Vine.
Maybe we should take a step back and we need to kickstart this.
We should
Yeah.
probably kickstart this.
That's right.
Help kickstart this podcast so we can put it on Vine.
So we can't afford Vine, so let's GIF the podcast
Right.
and I mean GIF doesn't have sound, right? But we'll subtitle it with like pictures of our faces.
We don't even
with
need.
what we would say
We don't even need GIFs.
The first stretch goal is mine?
for stretch goal, yeah.
Okay.
Guys, we don't even need GIFs. If I learned anything from Shovel Oren and the Sasasake movie, we just take a single picture and we put words over it. And
we don't need moving images.
we don't need. But here's the real question: how much does it cost to start a Kickstarter?
Oh God.
Well, less than a Vine,
Less than
But-
a Vine,
but
but more than a YouTube.
let me check.
I don't know. Like this is costing a lot of money to make this podcast.
$500.
$500 to start a Kickstarter. Ah.
Yep. We need an Indiegogo account.
Okay, so
we need an Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
We need an Indiegogo.
To-
Well, I was thinking about this. What if we Indiegogo to make a competitor to Kickstarter? And then we are Kickstarter 2. I thought of that name myself. We're Kickstarter 2. And then we,
With TOO, right? Like, so it's ironic.
TOO. Oh.
Yeah.
How about
Kickstarter
Kickstarter?
Also.
How
Oh.
Kickstarter T, then the word double, and then O.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we start that, and then, since we own it, we can put our own stuff up for free, and then other people who accidentally type in Kickstarter double T double O will go to put their stuff on what they think is Kickstarter, but it's actually our Kickstarter. So that's how we'll make money, so we can put our stuff on real Kickstarter. And then we can put our stuff on Vine.
Which hopefully gets us enough
Yeah.
fame to try for YouTube.
Yes.
Try.
Yeah, try. Well, no, we don't have to try
Well-
for YouTube. We gotta try for iTunes.
Oh yes, yeah.
iTunes is the
Yeah,
real...
YouTube isn't bad. It's just no one uses it.
well, no, wait. How are we making money? Was it Vine or is it iTunes? I'm confused.
Well, iTunes obviously you have to buy it.
Right.
Everything on iTunes.
Yeah, you gotta... The problem is there's so much stuff you gotta buy. You need, like, 3 Eagles albums. Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball. You need at least 3 like Aquabats music videos that are available for download on iTunes. At least. And like a couple weird college humor things that they put. You can really go further than that. And you need those 6 things just to be considered to be able to buy on iTunes. But we're gonna do it. That's what this podcast is for. So one day, all those things that we just laid out, we're gonna do. So please, if you're listening to this, you've already purchased it for $1,000. So we appreciate it. That was part of the plan, right? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually
Pretty sure it is.
I really want to thank you, the listener, for buying this podcast. I know I pulled up with my car, I opened my trunk, and I was like, I got some really good podcasts right here. And you bought this, and I appreciate it. You know, I'm looking at this $1,000 right now, and I'm like, thank you, because we're going to use it to start Kickstarter T-double-O. So, thank you, loyal listener. We don't even have a name for this podcast. No. Let's start spitballing names. What do we got?
What was the one we said earlier?
3 gay men.
Yeah, 3 gay men.
3 gay men.
Whoa.
Sit in a room with a microphone. One of us... I have a girl. I forgot. Forget. It's easy to forget.
Somewhat pansexual men in a room talking to themselves.
Somewhat pansexual. Well, but I'm not in it for sex. I'm pansexual, but I'm not in it for sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pandasexual?
Pandasexual.
Men?
Is that not what pansexual means?
You
No.
like pandas.
Yeah.
No,
love
I
pandas.
thought it meant sex with bread. En español, señor.
Ah,
In Espanol.
yeah.
This is a bilingual podcast. if you were-
Educational, too.
Yeah, educational.
We'll post it under everything.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably post
Well,
this up
we're-
on Spanish.com.
Well, we're gonna have the Dora Explorer crossover in a couple weeks. So
Yeah,
we're just
we-
practicing up.
Yeah, if you're still listening,
Yes.
if you're still listening, then you're still hearing my voice. And yes, we're gonna have Dora the Explorer on in a couple weeks. Yeah, that I was good on you, Andy, booking Dora the Explorer. I didn't think we'd be able to get her.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how cheap she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you sell a podcast for $1,000, you can do a lot of things.
I know. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to have Dora the Explorer. Shame we couldn't get Boots.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's like a scheduling conflict or something.
Oh, we're lucky Swiper will
I hate that guy.
swipe or something.
He stole. We would have had a podcast out earlier, but he stole my microphone. I didn't know how to stop him. I was like, "No, please don't steal my microphone." But he took it.
You just tell him no more swiping.
Oh, does that work? Wish I would have known that. That would have been really helpful.
He's not like all bad.
No?
When he's around, you don't have to unlock your phone. It's already swiped.
Oh, there you go.
You have to.
That's a really good joke. Okay, where we were going? Okay, we need a name for this podcast. We had a conversation at Taco Bell, but
Yes.
that was when we were actually eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can actually use that.
Well, we'll name it that, and then we'll see
Taco Bell
the official Taco. This is the official Taco Bell podcast. I am being paid by Taco Bell. That's who bought the podcast out of my car. Was Taco Bell.
The Taco Bell channel likes it on YouTube.
Oh God,
That would be.
I wish.
Great,
You
right?
know, just getting serious for a moment. I'm dead serious when I say this. I know we've made a couple jests throughout this podcast. But Andrew WK has a card that gets him free Taco Bell. That's my goal in life. To get a card that gets me free Taco Bell. Like, if nothing, if I could die a complete failure, never make a successful thing in my entire life, this podcast could be a total flop. I do not care. But if I get that card that says, you get free Taco Bell, that's it. I'm happy.
So you have a few ways about going at this.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, how do I do it?
One, you become like a extremely successful brand ambassador. They're
Okay.
just like, here, have all the Taco Bell you want.
Okay.
Two, you actually become a high-level manager in Taco Bell, in which you can just walk in the store and just tacos.
Taco.
Right.
Well, the problem with becoming a high-level manager is you have to actually see how the Taco Bell is made, and I think that might stop me from eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, you don't have to pay attention to that shit.
Okay.
Just
become high-level manager.
high-level manager. Three. I forgot three.
Well, all right.
That's great. That's
But but those are the three right there.
Those are three.
You got a brand ambassador, high-level manager, and I forgot.
Yeah, and I forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
No. No, I remember three. It's not suffer from memory loss. It's
I
actually.
was worried for a second.
It's actually take a minimum wage job and fall face first into a fryer.
Oh, and
There
say
you go.
I'll sue
Yep,
unless
pretty much.
this is free.
Pretty much, and all there has to be is a spill on the floor and not one of those yellow caution signs, and you're set for
See,
life.
I was thinking I had to put my face in a deep fryer.
Oh, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You do.
So I just do that.
But it has to be an improperly marked.
Wouldn't it be like a great Twilight Zone
Floor.
episode where there's this guy and he's trying to get a free Taco Bell for life, and he slips and he hits his face on the fryer and it's all going according to plan, but his mouth fuses closed and he can't actually eat the Taco Bell. And at the end he says his famous line classic
Taco Bell,
Twilight
but I can't
Zone.
eat. What's that from the book go? I can something, but I can't.
Oh, I have no mouth, yet I must scream.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I can't eat.
I can't eat. I have all this Taco Bell and no receptacle for eating. This is unfortunate. That's semicolon. This is unfortunate.
It's a sad day when you have to use a nasal dropper to get tacos into your body.
It's worth it. Nasal, just Taco Bell drip just up your nose.
Yeah.
It goes straight to the brain. It's a stronger high than just eating the tacos.
I mean, most of your taste comes from olfactory senses.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's a good
that's a
point.
big word.
Yeah. I don't know. This podcast is ready for words
I'm
like
not
that.
Sure. But
I heard oil factory.
Most of your taste is coming from those oil factory senses.
Oil.
So
No, this is serious science. Shut up. Tim.
you really, and I mean your nose is connected to your stomach. You could eat with your nose if you wanted. But no one does.
No one does. That's a good point. You may be just revolutionized eating forever.
Yeah.
See, the next time you eat food, just stick it up your nose. Just a whole oil rig. There's a lot of controversy about that. I had this story that I have an uncle and does a lot of. He's like a nurse, doctor kind of person, and there was this kid, and there are two kids, and the one kid says to the other kid give me the marble, and the other kid's like, no, and he just shoves the marble up his nose and goes as hard as he can, and the marble gets lodged so far up the kid's nose that they can't just pull it out with tweezers or something. They have to basically get a medical paperclip and just get it up there, and that is determination to keep a marble from somebody. Go brain! This is you! This is also what I say when I do coke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was my...
He
Sorry,
learned the marble trick from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Did he shove a marble up his nose? He didn't want Congress to... No, Congress, you can't have the marble!
No,
He doesn't have to do that
I can't think
anymore.
of the movie now. The one with the three tits.
Oh, total recall.
Right. He pulls the beacon out of his nose.
I've never seen either the reboot or the original.
You just know about the
I
three-tip part?
I just know the three-tip part. That's a big deal. That's... Not a lot of movies have the three boobs.
No.
I don't know if it made it into the reboot, though. Did anybody see the reboot? Because it was rated PG-13, so can you show three boobs?
No. Okay, there's a reference to it. The chick who had it made a reference to the fact she had the three tits, but I don't think she actually showed them.
Oh, so wait. So that's like me saying I have 3 tits.
Right.
Like right now, like there's no reference or anything.
Yeah. Well,
Or
I mean,
it's just, no way to see.
Yeah, she talks about having them.
But she's very modest about it. Like she's wearing like her bonnet and her
I don't
full
know.
dress.
You might see
I do declare,
some
I have
weird,
3 boobies.
and
then she, like,
clip.
Walks onto the plantation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can see some cleavage.
The plantation.
I don't know. Where else do people dress modestly? Not the slave plantation, like the friendly one. I don't know.
Like planters?
Like the planters.
Like peanuts or something?
Yeah, planters peanuts, but
Yeah.
but planters peanuts without the slaves. Not like the
Oh,
regular
okay.
planters peanuts. Yeah, so there may or may not be 3 boobs in the
No,
reboot.
the girl-
That's the important conversation here. Let's get to it.
The girl with them was in it. You might see like some weird cleavage, and she talks about having the
Oh,
3 tits,
okay.
but
Well-
she never actually shows it.
Do they show the 3? They like full frontal like show it in because again I've never seen either.
In the original, yeah.
Okay. Well, see,
I have 3 boobs!
I watched the original movie. Hey, you want to go to my have sex place? There's a lot of have sex places in Game of Thrones. It's a big theme of the show. A lot of have sex people, a lot of have sex places. I'm a have war, and I'm gonna be the have king. Kevin, I don't even know if that joke makes sense in the reference that we made to the have sex place. Like, I don't even know if the have king joke works there. No, I don't think it does. All right, well, we'll keep that in.
Yeah.
Don't edit that out. Future Tim listening to this.
All of it.
All of it, Tim.
It's gone.
I deleted the whole thing because I thought it was easier than editing it.
we have 5
We
minutes.
just
It's just, but it's not even like a cohesive sentence. It's just words that sounded good at the time.
Right.
just your whole edit is just let's play this backwards and it's probably better.
You know, if you actually listen to this podcast backwards, it tells you to worship the devil.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you watch it backwards in double speed,
it actually summons the devil.
Well, and if you watch it backwards at quadruple speed, you summon Alvin the Chipmunk, which is like quadruple devil.
Yeah,
When you really think
that's,
about it.
That's worse.
Yeah. The Bible talks a lot about Alvin the Chipmunk.
but to be fair, quadruple
The chipmunk
quadruple speed
is
4
one
does the
chipmunk.
same thing because quadruple speed is always Alvin the Chipmunk.
But it's the chipmunks, right? Not just one chipmunk.
No, well, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, but his name
Okay.
is Alvin Chipmunk, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's-
his last name. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
like, well, it's just like, I mean, he's the formal guy.
Yeah.
Because you have Alvin Chipmunk, Theodore Chipmunk, and
That's their last name.
Alvin.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
It's-
the other one?
It's not just Alvin and the
the fat
Chipmunks,
one.
as in the whole race of chipmunks. It's Alvin
I
and the
thought it was
Chipmunks family.
like the group.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah, well, yeah.
chipmunks. I didn't know
It's-
that was their last name.
It's
like Alvin and the dogs.
like-
if they're all dogs.
It's like Mickey Mouse. It's actually his last name.
yeah, his last name is, or it's like Mario. His last name is Mario because he's a Mario. That's why Luigi is Luigi Mario. Mario is a pretty uncreative name
Wait, is it-
from
Yeah.
Mario's parents.
Well, it's Mario Fat Ass Plumber Mario.
that middle
Right.
name.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
because back in Europe when they were making up middle names, it was you had like originally like when you made a last name. Like this is where a lot of last names come from. You pick a profession. You know, like if you were a cobbler, your last name would be cobbler. But in like 100 years after that, it was like you gotta have a middle name now. And they're like, oh fuck, now I gotta pick something about myself. So Fat Ass Plumber became, you know, that, and then they were like, well, we really like Mario because that's way easier to say. So now it's Mario Fat Ass Plumber. Mario. These are things that happen in video games. This is video game history
Yeah.
that I'm recanting. Learned about it on the internet, on Wikipedia, because so you know it's true.
Yeah. Well, it's the the Mario Wikia, not
Yeah.
Wikipedia, but
Right.
it should be even more accurate.
You know what we need? Some Mario fanfiction for next. Well, I guess would it be next week or can I even say next week? Because again, this is going to be all Vine.
Yeah.
So like a few years from now,
10 years.
Well,
10 years from now, there might be a Mario fanfiction.
Dawdling, as you just did, that was like 2 months, 3 months.
God.
Hold on,
months.
hold on. Everybody, just quiet. Okay, that was a whole episode on Vine right there that
Yeah.
we just did. That's
Oh,
professional
amazing.
work right there. It's a whole week of podcast on Vine.
We should stay silent more often.
We are talking too much.
It's not a good return on our investment, I don't think.
But we get to. This means that we don't have to make podcasts as often. We just make the one, and if we have silence in it, we can spread it out over a lot of vines. You see what I'm saying? Like I just did like 4 episodes, all me. I should get all the ad revenue on those episodes.
So the best
Great.
person at Vines is William Shatner.
Yeah, well,
breaks in his.
a lot of breaks, a lot of
Well, it's 1 word per vine.
really,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
He did a Shakespearean monologue, made $1 million off of ad revenue because every word was a vine. The guy's a genius.
Yeah.
Genius of the time. You guys seen Boston Legal? It's what he's known for. It's really good.
It's like the only thing.
Yeah, I don't. Because I hadn't really heard of him before that.
Yeah, he hasn't done a lot.
No, not really. Great actor, though. He should have been in more things.
Yeah.
Something bigger than Boston Legal. But does it get bigger than Boston Legal? I mean, people still to this day talk about how great Boston Legal was.
Yeah. I can imagine him doing pretty well on a reality TV show. Sometime.
Well, I can imagine him dying in Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just some kind of weird, like, pseudo-fantasy I have, so... Just, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about William Shatner and Survivor.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd make it. No?
I think
No.
the tribal council would take forever.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah.
So I'm still on the 3 boobs thing. I haven't
Yeah.
really moved on. I've kind of been trying to cycle this conversation back to 3 boobs.
Yeah.
Does that
So-
mean plus 1 to back pain?
Maybe.
Oh,
So does that mean she, like, says, like, hey, you want to come back to my place for a 2 1/10 sum? Because my boob is, like, an extra 1/10.
So it's like the boob counts as a whole extra 1/10 of a person.
Yeah.
So if you have sex with like a really fat person, is that a threesome?
No, well,
Uh,
if they have the back boobs, maybe.
Oh, so threesomes really just have to do with the number of boobs involved.
No, because the three boob doesn't count for a full. It only counts as a 10.
10.
Right?
Oh,
you don't
man,
get get extra holes in it. But if it's a really fat person, like there's folds between the fat and stuff that are kind of like holes.
So is that just an orgy? Because there's like 10 different.
It depends on how fat they
Yeah,
are.
really, like it does. I mean, I never viewed it that way, but I think you just changed the game forever. Yeah, I mean, they were so marginalized. That's the other reason I left Facebook. I'm going to totally shift this conversation. I have recently left Facebook, and there's a number of reasons, but the number one thing I'm tired of seeing on the internet is, and it's coming from a good place, these people, but it's worn out and I'm done, is like, I think these women, and we're talking about like curvy women, are more attractive than these women. And they show like the most anorexic people on the planet, just
Right.
like they haven't eaten food in like a month, and like, I agree.
Right. No one thought that.
No one thinks this
right.
dying it's like, I think this person, and it's like, like a curvy woman in underwear, looks better than this person. It's like a starving African child. It's like, I mean, no offense, child, but I mean, if I had to choose who I was more attracted to, I would probably choose the curvy, attractive woman in lingerie. I mean, I'm all for like this whole like feel good about yourself, but like there are people who are like curvy, attractive women, and then there are fat women, and it's not the same. I don't know. Be happy with who you are, but don't just fucking talk about it all the fucking time on Facebook. That was like a third of Facebook posts for me. It was like, I think this thing is better than this. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also wanted to really make this declaration. Not only have I said on Facebook, I'm done with Facebook, I have said on this podcast. So in 5 years from now, when somebody's done listening to this on Vine, they're gonna be like, oh, you quit Facebook. Why is he back on Facebook?
If Vine lasts that long.
You don't think Vine's gonna last 5 years?
In all reality, but probably.
Probably. I mean,
Maybe.
it's already
How
kind of
long-
dying off. Maybe we've made a bad investment.
How long did MySpace last from beginning to its like real die off?
I was thinking, when did we get into it? Like
It's-
2005?
No, it's still active today.
Right,
But,
I know
like-
it is, but
Yeah.
like really who uses it?
Well, there was like, I think
Well,
2000.
tons of music channels because YouTube or Facebook doesn't support it at all.
Yeah, no, the music's
Okay.
way better on MySpace. which is a silly sentence for me.
That's all I really
But,
support to begin with.
Yeah,
For
well,
the most part.
yeah, because those bulletins were stupid. Yeah, MySpace just in general was kind of dumb, but it worked for the time. I mean, it's 2000, pretty much 2005. Like everybody in America is like happy. You know, we're like, let's use MySpace because the internet is now an accessible thing that is at a reasonable speed.
And you're able to customize it in a way. It's like
Yeah,
felt
and you're just-
every person under 18 like learned what HTML was.
Yeah,
Actually learned something in it, even if it was just image
Maybe.
SRC hyperlink.
right.
yeah, you know, they learned how to
Like-
do that stuff, and
Have
good on them.
10 videos playing at the same time in the background.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like you just like click on somebody's profile, like, oh, where's that funny picture? You know, and then like Evanescence and like fucking My Chemical Romance are both playing. It's like, alright, how do I stop it? How do I stop it? No!
They've hit it.
No! But like 2008, I mean, that was like the housing crisis, you know? And that's, I feel like the time, I know when I went to Facebook, and I noticed a lot more people actively using Facebook. Like, like America like sobered up and was like, oh my god, MySpace, what are you? So we all started using Facebook.
Well,
now, maybe
when
as
they-
we get out of the...
You know, when they get kicked out of their space, their house.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, that's part of
my
it.
space becomes like a personal phrase in the head, and then you can't use it anymore.
Right, yeah. So you can't, like, the phrase is harder to say when you are homeless. It's also hard to update your MySpace if you're homeless.
True.
Yeah. It's hard to update your Facebook too, but a little easier. I'm liking to imagine that as America gets out of the Great Recession, that we'll either go back to MySpace and our 20 videos and our About Me section, or there's just going to be a whole new, even gaudier thing that's going to come out. You know,
Yeah.
like MySpace T00. That's, I think, the next one. It's like,
I can't think of anything else that's like starting now that might do that.
well, it's probably not Google Plus.
Yeah, that's not doing too well.
Somewhat unlikely.
Yeah. Google's just like, fuck it, and just lets people put up HTML. I'll make a fucking glitter background on Google Plus. Do it, Google. I dare you.
If it's HTML5, it wouldn't be that bad. It'd be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is HTML5 the newest one? Just
Yeah.
get really nerdy for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the nice thing about HTML5 is it will replace Flash and JavaScript and every other web thing that we've ever used.
All
Because
in one?
it does that all, yeah. It will play video itself. It doesn't require a Flash player.
And so we want to update all these other random little things and
Yep.
just get updates.
Here's
Yeah,
a tip for everybody out there. I don't know how this got on my computer, but you know, I've seen it on others. So, probably porn. It's, if you get an update, like when you start up your computer and it says like, Flash update required. You know, do you want to do it? Don't do it. If you actually need a Flash update, when you go to open something in Flash, it'll say can't open, go download, and you do it then. If you just get a pop-up that says it when your computer's starting, yeah, and it, you know, when I start up my computer, I've got like old Norton pops up. I've got like iTunes is like, you need an update. I have all this fucking shit pop up, and then it's like, I never update any of it. And then for some reason I was like, I'm gonna update
everything.
I'm not gonna update everything. I'm gonna update Flash Player because I watch a lot of Flash stuff. Not really, but you know, I know some things use Flash. That put a virus on my computer, which I managed to get rid of thanks to Spybot and a lot of like reading stupid forums. But it was the only reason I knew that there was a virus on my computer. It would have completely gotten away with it, stolen all my credit card information, and just ruined my life. But it would play commercials randomly in the background of my. So I'd be on Facebook just scrolling, looking at stuff, and all of a sudden, like, the new Honda Accord is rolling out to stores near you. and then it would, like, stop, and I'd be like, do I have YouTube open? Like, what the fuck's going on? It has leather seats, and what was that? Or, like, at one point, like, I was doing, like, I heard cars driving, I'm like, the fuck?
So is it just like ghost audio and no
It's weird, man. I don't really know what it is, but I read other people got it the same way by updating their Flash, and you know, Flash air quotes, and yeah, and it just did that. And it was generally commercials. So I don't know if it had like some weird like combination, like YouTube ads somehow filtered in with the virus, and then would just play them random because it was generally always ads. It never played like a YouTube video I was watching randomly or something, because that would be creepy because, you know, it's somebody talking all of a sudden. But no, it's like, have you seen the new Kia? From Kia?
I think it must have been, like, the guy who writes the scripts for car commercials. Like, it's the same guy that does it for all companies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same guy, clearly.
Maybe he hung himself with, like, a LAN cable or something. Like a Cat 5, maybe a Cat 6 if he spent a lot extra money.
Probably, because he wrote a lot of car commercials.
Yeah, and then that got into your computer.
Okay.
Like his spirit.
He
like,
got his
Spirit. So I was infected by a ghost virus.
Right,
Yeah.
so, like, troll ghost audio mix.
I've heard that's how a lot of computer viruses start.
Yeah. It's...
Oh, not when you sneeze on the computer?
Well, I mean, that doesn't help.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I mean, that's not the first time. I thought it was more of a virus, but I guess my computer has been haunted before.
Yeah.
That shit sucks. That's hard to get rid of.
And that Ghost in the Machine shit, you know?
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens. Ghost in the machine. That's where the term comes from, is when you get a ghost in your computer and he plays ads randomly while you're trying to watch YouTube.
Yeah.
But to get serious for a moment, that was so fucking annoying. I'd be watching a video and then all of a sudden, have you seen... It's like, no, stop! And it wouldn't... I couldn't get it to stop. I could close everything and it would just keep playing this ad. Like, sometimes the entire ad, I'm like, I just want to watch YouTube. Why? That's the only thing it seemed to do. I never, like... I don't buy stuff on my computer. I buy it on, like, something completely different, or I buy it in person. So, none of... Like, I don't really have information on my computer like that. So it never stole any of that. It just played fucking ads the whole time.
Doesn't seem like a terribly good marketing tactic.
No.
Yeah.
But I really want a new Honda Accord or Kia. I don't know why. Just on a totally different note. Just to change the subject.
Right.
Really
Yeah.
want one of
I
those.
hear they have leather seats.
I hear they have leather seats. And they can move with wheels. Wheels, man. It's the new thing for cars.
Oh, squares?
Yeah, I know. Squares was a big technology for a while, but
It was better than rectangles. That was just
rectangles
fucking-
were difficult.
fucking oblong jumping shit.
Yeah, it's difficult to move in a rectangle car, but you got good gas mileage.
Yeah.
Really good gas mileage.
Well-
that's the problem with my circle wheel car. I'm getting like
Only like when going over other cars.
well, or going at all. Mine didn't really go, but I didn't spend a lot in gas. Just kind of sat in front. So I got like 0 miles per gallon, but I didn't spend any gallon.
Well, it only takes like, you know, a little shake of the earth, like a little earthquake or something. You move a little bit, and then you spent no gas, but moved a little bit. Like,
You know,
that's like infinite miles per
When you
gallon.
really think about it, like my
You just
miles
had to
per
wait
gallon
for that to happen.
are fantastic because I'm on the planet. So like my miles per gallon in relation to like other cars moving around the Earth, not great. Miles per gallon moving through space, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
just really, really, I get A plus, like, you know, 3 bazillion miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Good car. Got a lot of space miles on it. Some good stuff, man. Alright, I'm thinking this is probably a good place to end. I realized we never actually introduced ourselves. We should probably, like, append
Well-
this to the beginning.
Well, it's going to be played backwards, right?
Well, it's good, yeah, so we'll just, well, hold on. Let's spitball just for a minute more. We've got any names for this podcast? There's actually a 4th person in this room that hasn't said anything. Speak up. Still gonna be quiet? That's not. Shut up. No, stop. It's too late. Okay. So, anybody got any ideas for?
I don't know, what are we, general? Like, what's our podcast about?
What's our podcast
What
about?
would we-
Well, computer viruses
Oh,
and whatever the fuck we just talked about.
Kia cars?
Kia cars.
That's what
Computer
we're-
viruses and Kia cars. Pretty much the same thing.
I would,
Say it.
Pulling a Dave.
yeah. Pulling the Dave might be a good podcast. But
Say it.
according to Dave, no.
According to Dave. Well, that reminds me too much
Yeah.
of according to Jim. And that
Yeah.
Right.
makes me sicker than thinking about a person having sex with an animal.
Yeah.
I really don't want to think about according to Jim. Thought about it for a second.
Wow.
Yeah, well, so was according to Jim. Even on mute, it was too loud.
I don't think I ever watched the full episode.
Good. That's all I have to say. I got nothing for a name. We could do, We can do the NSYNC thing and just we take a letter from each of our middle names. So I got M. No, I don't want people to know. X. My middle name starts with X. No, we're not doing... I don't want people to know that much about our middle names.
Eraser X?
I'm Racer X.
Oh.
We should be Eraser X. That'll be the name of our podcast.
Eraser X.
Eraser X. I mean, we do start with a fan fiction every time.
Yeah.
Eraser X. This is the... Let's see, how many other podcasts are named Eraser X?
Can't be too many,
Right? It's just be called My Immortal. Eraser X. I don't know if there's anything named Eraser X. Except a YouTube video.
Oh.
There's a Facebook.
Oh, no.
God damn it!
They've already got Facebook.
There's a Blogspot.
No.
Oh wait, when was the last time that Blogspot was updated?
Now, is it Eraser as in erasing?
Yeah, like I did like
Oh,
Okay.
I looked up Eraser as in, like,
Eraser.
electronic racing.
Oh.
You know.
The first, if you type in Eraser X, the first thing you get is a John Raunch DeviantArt gallery. And the only thing that has, like, you know how it like gives you like a description like where the fuck they're getting their stuff from? It's just like reply period previous like semicolon next period X period add a comment period like I guess that involves Eraser.
Eraser X is also an independent music professional from the Washington, D.C. metro area.
That might be the other thing that I have here. Okay. Yeah, we can name our podcast this if we want. Like Eraser X.
Eraser
Like an
X.
Eraser.
Are we all big enough fans of Eraser X?
Oh, so we can have an eraser that's shaped kind of like a car and put X
Yeah,
on it?
that's gonna be how we get our 1,000. It's gonna be the merch. We didn't think of that.
Right.
She gotta have a T-shirt that just has my face on it.
But we need a good logo. That's what I'm thinking.
We do need a good logo.
Like the logo is the eraser, like the weird. I don't know what shape that is. Erasers.
Yeah, like the weird like pink things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for now, the podcast is going to be called Eraser X, so we think of something better.